This morning we are continuing with our theme for the year, a day at a time, oneness, and our theme for the month, surrendering. A few spiritual principles this morning. I didn't sleep too good last night, so my energy is a little bit, so if I seem a little bit different, that's what's going on. This morning, the spiritual principles that we have taken from Ernest Holmes and What We Believe, and if you'd like to get a copy of this, you can do a search for Ernest Holmes and What We Believe to be able to follow along. We also have added some additional non-jargon language and an interpretation to the spiritual principles that we talk about. And so this morning, we're working with spiritual principle number 1. Simply, we believe in God, the living spirit, almighty one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. Spiritual principle number 2, we believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. Spiritual principle number 8, we believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. And here is the interpretation of that principle. A belief is not an idea that my mind possesses. It is an idea that possesses my mind. What I believe can move a mountain or put one in my way. It is done unto me as I believe. Finally, spiritual principle number 9, we believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe that our thoughts are powerful, so powerful, as the principle stated, that what we think and believe can move a mountain or put one in our way. That's how powerful we believe our thoughts are. That's how powerful. Can move a mountain. Can move a mountain. So surrendering then, our theme for the month, and our call to action, as I shared last week, is not to do the easy thing and to do the not so easy thing. That is what surrendering is. And what is the not so easy thing to do? And that is not to let your thoughts get the best of you. Sounds like an easy thing to do. But it's not an easy thing to do. I will admit, it is not an easy thing to do, not to let our thoughts get the best of us. For us, when we are engaged in this practice, then it is heavenly. It leads us into having a heavenly experience. Not to let our thoughts get the best of us, it's necessary and it's essential. You know, for those of us who are students of the science of mind, and for those of us who are practitioners, and let me just say, all of us are practitioners, all of us are practicing, all of us are open to understanding the principles and engage in the practices, to be in prayer and meditation and all of this. So that makes all of us practitioners. But perhaps the most important question then we can be asking ourselves is, are my thoughts getting the best of me? Have my thoughts, are my thoughts getting the best of me? You know, on my way here this morning, I was looking at a church. You know how they have the little boards out there, And on the board it said, do you know your way to salvation? Well, for us, the way to salvation is to not let your thoughts get the best of you. The greatest question we can be asking ourselves, have my thoughts got the best of me? Are my thoughts getting the best of me? I wanted to read a little bit this morning from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, from his reading title, Thinking Affirmatively. I'm reading this morning from page 18, 19, 21, and 22. He says, there is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. We all believe this. The question is, why do we not use it more effectively? If all things are possible to faith, why do we not have more faith? If affirmative prayers are answered, why do we not always pray affirmatively? Let us try to figure out just how we can more effectively cooperate with the law of mind. He might as well said, why do we continue to let our thoughts get the best of us? He goes on to say, first, let us begin with the thought that we are all united with an invisible force which is creative, and that we are already one with a universal mind which can do anything. We're already one with a universal mind that can do anything. He goes on to say that it is the sum total of all our thinking that we must consider. And in doing this one of the first things we learn is that about 90% of our thinking is unconscious. Psychologists now tell us that 8% of our accidents are unconsciously invited, and at least 75% of our diseases are unconsciously created. That our success or failure in life is largely unconscious. And of course, our happiness or our misery is almost entirely so. He goes on to say this. You will learn that as the subjective reactions of your thought build up an affirmative attitude, things will begin to change in your environment. It may take a little time, but you now have your courage, knowing that you are dealing with a definite principle and that it cannot fail. He says, we are all surrounded by a certain amount of skepticism and doubt, and perhaps many people think what we believe is all nonsense. This should not disturb us in the least. We are to know that we are working independently with God and the great law of good. Whether we are working for ourselves or for our family or our friends or the whole world, every affirmative spiritual statement we make will have some power. An invisible law of good will be acting upon it. You have no one to prove this to but yourself. But if you do prove it to yourself, no doubt your friends will begin to ask you, what is it all about? You have no authority for what you do other than the authority of what happens when you do it. We have nothing to give to the world unless we have first proved it. The blind cannot lead the blind, but alone with truth, one man can pass from weakness into strength, from fear into faith, from defeat into success, and even while he is still living, from a state of continual death into a realization of everlasting life. Alone with the truth, one person, through their thinking, can either move mountains or put mountains in the way. One person. So our work then is to turn suppositions into certainties, to turn our doubt into faith. Our work is to heal our unbelief. And the only person, Ernest Holmes said, that you have to prove this to is yourself. The only person you have to prove this to is you. And so while in this teaching, we don't have any rites, and we don't have any sacraments like our Christian brothers and sisters. You know, we don't have baptisms, this sort of thing. We don't do last rites. We don't do Holy Communion. But if we did do something like that, it would be the asking of each other, are your thoughts getting the best of you? That would be it. I'm trying to make a point here about the point today, because it's so important. You might think it's an easy thing to do, to not let your thoughts get the best of you, but it's not. It's not an easy thing to do. There is no amount of practice that dissolves any one of us from this truth, from this practice, from this commitment, from this daily practice, from this daily type of checking in with our own thoughts, as Ernest Holmes said, because so many of our thoughts are unconscious. So many people don't even know that they are thinking, or that they have the capacity and capability to slow down enough and to begin to pay attention to what they are thinking, and that when they do, there is a great possibility that they can then begin to change their circumstance and to change their life. So many people unaware. So many people. But none of us are dissolved from it. I remember being at a ministerial retreat, and I've shared this before, and there was probably about 25 different ministers at the retreat. Some ministers had been doing the work for 40 years plus, and some of us were 1 year in. And so the question was posed in substance, something like this: have your thoughts got the best of you? Are your thoughts getting the best of you? And all 25 hands shot up. None of us. The practice is daily. The practice is daily. It's not so easy to do, you know? And you might be thinking, well, how do I know? How do I know if my thoughts are getting the best of me? Because most of us don't think our thoughts are getting the best of us. Most of us think that we have control of our mind, and it's really the other way around. Our mind has got control of us. How do you know? Well, you agitated, disturbed, perturbed, frustrated, upset, distraught, confused, uncertain, agitated, disturbed, upset, distraught, confused, uncertain, not clear. I'm mad, agitated, confused. I'm real uncertain. I better call somebody. You agitated, you disturbed, you perturbed, you frustrated, you upset, distraught, confused, uncertain. And it's not that we are trying to move away from never having this experience. We're not going to ever get away from not having this experience. But we can have a greater awareness of it in us. As we come to understand that the thing that is in us is greater than the experience that we're having, and that somehow we can work it out in us, to work it out of us. Are y'all with me this morning? This is a grand idea. It's it. Your salvation. Not to let your thoughts get the best of you. It's the greatest thing, the greatest thing, the greatest thing that we can do. And it starts by acknowledging the God in us. You and I acknowledging the God in us. And not just to simply accept what others say about the God in you. That's where it starts. And that's what I love so much about this teaching. and that it gives it back to the one who is serious enough to be engaged in practice a day at a time, to the one who is serious about coming to understand their relationship with the divinity within them and its supremacy that all of life must bow down to. So, here, then, we are focused on acknowledging the divinity within us and the supremacy of this divinity within us. And that is it. And that's what I love about this teaching. You know, don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. That's the beauty in the teaching. There is no savior. There is no one to hold up high. There is no one greater than the other. The truth that's in me is the truth that's in you. The infinite truth that's available to everybody is the same infinite truth that's available to each and every one of us. The infinite love that's available to me is the same infinite love that's available to you. The wisdom that is everywhere and available to all is the same wisdom that's available to you. In fact, it is in you. Find out for yourself. Ernest Holmes said, there's no one to prove it to but you. Find out for yourself. Our call to action, find out for yourself whether or not God can be trusted. Find out for yourself. Find out for yourself whether or not life can be trusted. Find out for yourself. Find out for yourself whether or not love can be trusted. Find out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not faith and grace can be trusted. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Find out for yourself. Last week I said that we are here to acquaint ourselves with the truth. Well, don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not truth can be trusted. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not the truth can set you free. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not the truth has already set you free. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not love can be trusted. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not peace is real. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not God is real. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not life is real. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not prosperity is real. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not healing is real. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself whether or not the truth is being revealed. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Find out for yourself. You ain't got nobody to prove it to but yourself. But yourself. Don't take my word. Find out for yourself about the supremacy of the divinity within you. Find out for yourself. Because see, here it is. The worst thing that we can do is to be in a teaching like this and not change. A year later, you still disturbed. You still perturbed. You still frustrated. You still upset. 10 years later, 10 years later, that still bothers you. That's still getting you upset. 10 years later, one class, one meditation. 20 years later, you still confused. You still uncertain. 25 years later, you still don't know about the supremacy of the divinity within you. Your thoughts are still getting the best of you, the same way they were 25 years ago. It's the worst thing we can do. It's not the understanding of the principle and the application of it. This is it. It's refined, broken down to its simplest and smallest idea. Be still, be quiet. Check in to see if you're frustrated, if you're disturbed, if you're not at peace, if you're confused. Check in. Check in. It's the worst thing we can do in this teaching, to not change our thinking. We to change your thinking people. You know what I'm saying? It's the worst thing we can do, not to change our minds. Not to change our minds? The worst thing we can do. You know? Surrendering. Without surrendering, without being engaged in the practice, without not being aware of whether or not your thoughts have control of you, without it, you just remain the same. You're the same. You're the same. Proximity don't equal change. It's just proximity. Don't let your thoughts get the best of you. Yeah, let us pray. Practitioners, please join me. As we anchor our word today in prayer, let us just turn within and become so aware of the power and the presence. Whether you believe it or not, that's never an absence. That is at the very center of our lives. In fact, it is breathing us, causing us to breathe and us not doing a thing about it. It is magnificent and it's real. This power and this presence, we are so one with it that we can never be separate and apart from it. Never. It is everything that we are, and we are everything that it is. And so we know that its creativity in us moves us to high and holy ideas, moves us into the idea and the action that backs up the idea, to pause and to be still and to know that that which is within us is greater than anything outside of us. Let us affirm and know today then that the supremacy of the divinity within us, that it's more than enough, that it is grace itself. That as we uncover and delve into looking at our unconscious thoughts, to take time to think about the things that we haven't thought about, to take some time to think about the things that we are thinking about, to take some time to see whether or not in our own world, in our own universe, that we are disturbed and frustrated, that we are uncertain and confused. And the moment we become aware of this, I affirm for you as I affirm for myself, something moves in me to affirm and know the truth of my being. and the truth of your being, that nothing outside of you is greater than that which is within you, that no circumstance outside of you has any power over you, that no circumstance that you are holding back and forth in your own mind has the power over you. No, the great divinity and its supremacy within you, it always reigns supreme. It's supremacy because it's supreme. It's divine. It's all that there is. It is without opposite. Nothing to oppose it. And everything in us to affirm it and nothing in us to deny it. So I know for you as I know for myself, I'm committed to the practice daily. I've got to be committed to the practice daily. The great sacrament to acknowledge the divine that is within us, to see God in everything and everywhere. This is how you and I come to not let our thoughts get the best of us. I affirm for you as I affirm for myself, I'm here to prove that love is good. I'm here to prove that God is real, that love is real, that truth is real, that beauty is real, that joy is real. I affirm for you as I affirm for myself that this is the only action and activity that we are engaged in. And the whole universe conspires for our good. So I give thanks for this. Truly, I do. I give thanks for every opportunity that I've had to change my thinking, to change my mind, and to change my life. And I give thanks for you too, all the opportunities that you've had to change your thinking and to change your life and to change your mind. I'm glad about it. I'm glad about it. Oh, I'm glad about it. Grateful. 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 There ain't nothing to, there is no soul saving. Our souls is already saved. Just don't let your thoughts get the best of you. Be ever aware. Grateful. So moved in this moment then just to gather the words that have been spoken, the songs that have been sang, the eye glances that have been had, the love that is being expressed in this place. Let us take it all in. And in doing so, we just simply release it into the law of mind, to that place and that space that is ever corresponding and responding to our heart's deepest desires. That must respond to our words, to our feelings, and it is doing so now. The demonstration truly has already been made, so let us see it, let us affirm it, and let us come together in agreement then by saying, and so it is. So as we journey on throughout our week, let me remind you to do the not so easy thing to do. Don't let your thoughts get the best of you. What you think can move a mountain or put a mountain in the way. And so it is.